The 2015 Financial Planning Week kicked off on Monday. Financial planning is the process of structuring and arranging financial resources to meet your life goals. To chat more on this is David Kopp, who is Head of Advocacy at the Financial Planning Institute. David, thanks so much for your time this evening. What's the purpose of Financial Planning Week?
So Financial Planning Week is really one of our opportunities as professional financial planners who bear the Certified Financial Planner mark to give back to the community that we serve. So it's about opening up businesses, so our members open up their businesses and their doors to offer pro bono financial consultations to members of the public.
And do they take it up?
Yes, we do get big take up on it. Obviously being on here tonight will help create awareness around it, but we do see members of the public coming in and really taking heart and using the opportunity to consult with a financial planner and find out what financial planning is actually all about.
And why is financial planning so important?
So we're sitting in a position where we are struggling with debt as a country. There's upward pressure in terms of food costs, fuel costs, transport costs. And it's really important to have your foundation plans in place. So a lot of people's experience with so-called financial planning might be somebody to come and sell them a policy.
Yes.
Financial planning is a lot more than that. It's about looking at you as a person, understanding your goals and needs. It's helping put your budget together. It's helping saying if you are in a debt position, how do we manage that debt before it goes to debt counseling or debt administration? So it's important to make those right financial decisions to ensure that you can actually grow towards financial freedom.
Is the mindset changing? Because obviously we see stats, we hear the data of how indebted South Africans are. Household expenditure, almost more than 3/4 of our income goes to just paying off debt as South African households.
So we are seeing a lot more people take up the need to do financial planning and change. Behavioral change is a funny thing because it takes place over quite a long time. And it's really something we need to look at in terms of prioritizing our needs as South Africans as opposed to our wants. So not necessarily getting the latest cell phone, the biggest car to drive, really what you need to get through and prioritize that. And then to plan and really put money aside for those wants, for those additional goals that you want to get. So we're not saying forget everything, don't have fun. You want to have fun with your money, you work hard for it. But let's plan for it and make sure that the decisions you make, you can afford, and more importantly, you understand the consequences of the decision, particularly in the long term, so that one day you can retire and have a comfortable life.
And what have you done as an institute to work on, I suppose, the image of financial planners? Because you made the point, when people think of financial planners, they think of the guys, the brokers who come and sell you a policy, rather than actually look at your life holistically.
So what we focused on is really focusing it from a consumer education viewpoint. So about understanding that, let me come and speak to a financial planner who can give me a guide. And to that point, we've developed a program called the FPI Mum Money 123 program, which is really to teach consumers in a workshop environment about the basics of financial planning. So and Financial Planning Week is in our other angle where consumers can come and have an opportunity to meet with a certified financial planner and get to understand what financial planning is about and how they can work with a financial planner as a guide as opposed to somebody who's just going to sell them a policy.
And what's happened with costs in the financial planning space?
So there is pressure on costs. Costs are coming down. We're seeing a lot of regulatory changes which are looking at the cost structures. So the competition is working on bringing the costs down, but the costs are also going to where we feel they should be going. You should be looking to pay an advisor for the service that they give. A lot of people feel that financial planning is not valuable because they think they're getting it for free because the payment is actually wrapped up in a commission structure. There's a lot of talk about bringing that cost out, letting people understand what they're paying for. But I think what's more important is to understand the value that you can get out of working with a financial planner. If you're struggling to identify what you need to do, that's where a financial planner will come in and help put you on the right pathway to achieve your goals.
And that's interesting. Do you find that people go to a financial planner when they're under deep stress rather than when they're actually cash flush?
Yeah. So Unfortunately not. So people think quite often, I don't have money, so I shouldn't go see a financial planner because I don't have money to invest. And that's further from the truth. So if you are sitting in a problem where you are struggling to get by, struggling to understand your finances, that's when you should be sitting with a financial planner. Let them help you, let them guide you and be your coach, which is what financial planning is all about at the end of the day.
Okay, so what's going to happen this week? What sort of activities are there?
So we're running workshops through our members throughout the country, as well as many of our members have opened up their doors and said, come in. So members of the public can actually go to our website or to the Financial Planning Week website, and they can see all the activities that we do have planned. Like I say, there are sessions being run. It's not to say that if you don't find one in this week, don't worry about it, step aside.
Wait until next year.
We do these activities ongoing. So if you do miss out on the opportunity, particularly to run a workshop session, we can come and do one on an ad hoc basis for you.
Right, we'll leave it there. Thanks for your time today. David Kopp is Head of Advocacy at the Financial Planning Institute. Now, mega mining group Glencore is doing some dramatic cost cutting. The company's announced plans to reduce its more than 400 billion rand debt pile by postponing dividends, selling assets and issuing new shares.
Glencore is struggling with a slump in commodities that has battered its share price. Its first half earnings dipped 29% and shares have fallen 60% this year. But the global miner has a plan, and it's a pretty drastic one. The mining and commodities trading firm will suspend dividends and sell assets to raise 35 billion rand. The aim is to cut the company's debt by a third to 280 billion rand by the end of next year. Shares in the company rose 8% on the news.
This is dramatic, but it's also, to be done in a realistic timescale, and the market likes what it hears. Cost cutting and debt burden reductions are always the kind of things that markets like to see. Given where we are in the interest rate cycle, this is probably a very good time to be doing that.
The company was under pressure to cut debt after copper and coal prices sunk to more than 6-year lows. The slow Chinese economy is largely to blame.
It's not just China, emerging markets